Hello and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am the Crushinator and I will be your host for tonight's replay cast between FF and the Pancakes and Illidancing Queens in this Division E matchup. This match was played yesterday, two titans of the division here. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape to see how our teams matched up coming into this series. FF and the Pancakes coming into this series with 4 wins and 0 losses on the match record, undefeated on the maps, 8-0. Their 2 best maps so far. They're 2-0 on Dragonshire and they're 1-0 on a whole slew of other maps. I think they've played 7 or 8 of the 10 available maps so far. I decided to highlight Alterac Pass. And taking a look at their best heroes so far. Once again, many heroes at the 3-0. They've played Deckard successfully 4 times. And just taking a look at the more sort of offbeat choices here for FF and the Pancakes. 3-0 on Maiev, 3-0 on Kira. Not heroes that we get to see an awful lot. Interesting that FF and the Pancakes are seeing such success with these high skill picks. Meanwhile, Illidancing Queens also coming into tonight's matchup at 4-0 on the match record. They are 8-3 on their maps thus far. So far doing the best on Infernal Shrines at 3-0, and also 1-0 on a lot of other maps as well, so a lot of sharing around the love for the maps between our two teams. 1-0 on Tomb of the Spider Queen is what I chose to highlight there. Best heroes so far for Illidancing Queens, 3-1 on Raynor, 3-0 on Leoric, 3-0 on ETC. Alright. Let's head over to the map screen, let you know how this series started out. Volskaya Foundry, Battlefield of Eternity, Braxis Holdout, and Dragonshire were banned out for this series. FF and the Pancakes are taking us to Towers of Doom for game number 1. Alright, the table is set. Let's get ready to go. Game number 1 on Towers of Doom. It's FF and the Pancakes versus Illidancing Queens. Here we go. Alrighty. Loading in here to Towers of Doom. On the left-hand side, we have FF and the Pancakes with Zixg on the Deckard. Mr. G is playing Tassadar. Stampy is on the Maiev. Courtney is playing Malthael. And it is Jaeger on the Diva. On the right in the red, we have Illidancing Queens with Dax on the Sylvanas. Born to Shine is playing Stukov. Yotaru is on the Sonya. Jakebot is playing the Diablo, and Sestrin is on Chromie.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, game number 1 is underway here. Taking a look at those level 1 quests, we do have the Deep Breathing stacks coming in for Chromie. Tastar looking to charge up those Shock Rays. The Q stacks on level 1. Sonya's still thinking about it. You see FF and the Pancakes have already split into a 1-3-1 here, leaving Illidancing Queens full control over this mid lane. It will be the block stacks coming in for Yotaru, trying to deny some of the damage coming through from Diva and coming through from Maiev. So we see Sonya is going to head up to the top lane to counter the Malthael, while the rest of Illidancing Queens actually gets the stun right away onto Jaeger. The silence flip is good. And Diva trying to heal back up will get popped right out of that mech. Stampy coming on through to try to peel away, but Diva will go down as first blood of this game. Looks like our teams have already broken into the bottom lane push. It looks like Illidancing Queen's actually looking for Courtney on the mid-rotation. Sester not quite getting the dismount, as Malthael heading up to the top lane to counter-push Yotaru there. Diva already back on the map, going to be heading back down to the bottom lane. Looks like FF and the Pancakes right on time with this Sapper camp. Jakebot just checking in the bush, making sure nothing too crazy's happening. And now it will be Illidancing Queens that starts up the Sapper camp of their own. FF and the Pancakes just looking to prep this lane. It looks like they're not interested in a camp invade just yet. But Illidancing Queens are going to have to get on down here to stop this sapper push before it connects with the wall, as the wave is already cleared. The sappers are in, and it looks like they will connect, so a very successful first sapper camp there for FF and the Pancakes. Howdy folks in chat, OG Geo, Dax Hots, coming on out for the replay cast. OG Geo will come and check it out later. Stampy getting the big pull onto Born to Shine and Dax. Once again, Jaeger being keyed onto by the members of Illidancing Queens. That's a pretty big route there coming through from Zixg. But Illidancing Queens will manage to get away. Looks like Yotaro is taking an opportunity to grab this top camp. Courtney coming on through. Can Yotaro keep them off the point? No, this is gonna... Looks like it's gonna be going Malthiel's way as Yotaro has to get off the point, trying to spin to win, but just not enough healing there, and Sonya will go down over that top camp. Good job by Courtney to recognize that Sonya was off the map there. And that leads to our first triple altar phase of the game. Right now we see Sezdrin coming up to the top lane to try to stop this push, but these sappers will be connecting with the wall here. Overall, top lane, not too big of a deal if you lose a little damage up there early. As we see Stampy's actually caught by Jakebot, using the Shade to warp on out of there. Ooh, a very nice Haunting Wave by Dax, avoiding the root of Deckard. It looks like we're going to have a trade in the top lane. Courtney going to grab the right-hand side, Yotaro, or on the left-hand side, Yotaro's grabbing the right. Jakebot going right after Jaeger once again. Sezdrin throws out those Dragon Breaths, trying to demech D.Va once again. And we're going to have a full 5v5 over this bottom altar. Stampy going right in, finds the grab onto 2 once again. Umbral Blind connecting onto Stukov. There's the root onto Stukov as well, but Born to Shine going to start walking on out. Stampy will go down for the trouble, so Illidancing Queens picks up the first kill in this fight. See whether FF and the Pancakes can successfully retreat. It looks like they will do so. Courtney managing to mount back up, starting to back in a little bit of a dangerous place there, but manages to get away with it. So that's 2 altars over. Ooh, Jakebot catching Mr. G on the rotation. Can't quite connect the stun, so it looks like Tassadar will get on out of here. Malthiel headed back to the top lane. Sonya going to match that rotation as well. Right now, Sezdrin and Dax just trying to push this lane, but Stampy's back on the battlefield. This could be trouble for the 2 squishy DPS. Shade is in, but the mounts were available. Illidancing Queens thinking about their right side camp. FF and the Pancakes doing the same, grabbing the camp on the left. Looks like Jakebot just trying to hold things down in the mid lane for now. Malthiel does have a rotational advantage over Sonya, so we'll be able to move between top and mid a little bit faster. So Illidancing Queen's going to have to keep an eye on that mid lane to try to nullify that advantage as often as possible. Camp's taken roughly at the same time this time, so Illidancing Queens has a bit of an advantage there. Dax getting pulled in by Maiev. Umbral Bind connecting onto the Banshee Queen. But Jakebot is in the back looking for Zixg. Deckard, slippery old man that he is, will get on out of there. Very even on experience so far, these two teams. Roughly even on minions and hero kills, mercenaries. So they're both going to be approaching level 10 at about the same time here. As we see a double altar phase down in the bottom lane is getting ready to spawn. Yotaro manages to catch most of that XP up in the top lane. Sezdrin throwing out the slowing sands, actually getting a couple more deep breathing stacks. Only needs 2 more to connect before finishing that level 1 quest. Tassadar about halfway done. Looks like Dax is looking for the free channel in the bottom lane. Jakebot trying to ward away, but the rest of FF and the Pancakes are coming on through. Yotaro trying to get the top channel now for free. D.Va trying to get up there in time. Born to Shine now being chased down, will be going down first in this fight. D.Va did manage to interrupt Sonya, so it looks like FF and the Pancakes, they're going to get this bottom altar. Yotaro. Oh, there's the stun. Sonya trying to finish this channel, but here comes the rest of FF and the Pancakes. There's the root onto Sonya. Yotaro trying to get away, but is pulled in by Maiev. The Shade in once again, and Sonya is down. FF and the Pancakes cannot be stopped here. Diablo's going to be next. Dax trying to get away, uses the Haunting Wave to survive. Sezdrin trying to get the interrupt on Zixg, but may be caught there. A little bit too aggressive on that attempted interrupt, and Chromie is going to go down. So it's a couple more altars going over to FF and the Pancakes. That gives them the XP advantage, and that gives them the early level 10. We've got the Lornado coming out for Deckard. It is the Warden's Cage for Maiev, Last Rites for Malthael, Archon for Tassadar, and Diva took the Micro Missiles, as is normal. Born to Shine and Dax trying to put up the defense on this bottom tower. Malthael not a huge siege damager. Looks like Jakebot coming around the outside though, and level 10 has arrived for Illidancing Queens. We do have the Flailing Swipe, the Wailing Arrow, Apocalypse, the Leap coming in from Sonya, and you saw the Slowing Sands, and there's the big combo. The Warden's Cage is out, the Apocalypse is not going to be enough. Slowing Sands really cutting back the progress of FF and the Pancakes, but they do get the kill onto Jakebot, and it looks like they're going to finish the job on this bottom fort. Jaeger about to be demeched, actually, getting a little bit below 500 health, but that is now a structure advantage going over to FF and the Pancakes. Blue team now looking at a camp capture, stealing away the camp of Illidancing Queens. Sestern just throwing out some damage where possible, but that's going to be very easily healed up by those Deckard potions. And now we're going to see Illidancing Queens. They actually find Jaeger, the mech already taken out, taking some hits from the Chromie. Jakebot trying to get away from Stampy, manages to avoid the Umbral Bind, so Diablo will be alright for now. Only 26 souls there for Jakebot, so going to have to be careful, not as bulky as a Diablo normally is. Stampy manages to use the Vault of the Wardens to get away. We've got a double top lane altar phase. Right now, Malthael and Sonya are battling it out, and the fight continues down here in the bottom lane. Maiev choosing not to go in off that shade. Looks like Malthael is going to get the top left altar. That's a pretty big pickup there for FF and the Pancakes. Maiev is starting to move back. It looks like Jakebot did manage to slip away, and Illidancing Queens is going to grab the second altar in that phase. Mr. G and Jaeger. Ooh, big damage onto Sestron, forcing Chromie to move on back there. Chromie going to be trying to siege down this fort from afar. The rest of Illidancing Queens coming down to try to help. Maiev and Deckard did back, so this is an opportunity for Illidancing Queens to move in and try to get some damage. Jakebot lands the stun onto Jaeger once again. Diva taking a whole lot of damage, getting demeched there. The Wailing Arrow onto one. Dax warping away again. These Haunting Waves have been really, really nicely done. Bottom fort down to about half health, but here come the Sappers. Can Illidancing Queens do something about this push, or are they going to be pushed back? They still don't have level 13 here. So far, all the Sappers have been stopped, but the rest of Illidancing Queens just taking a whole lot of damage, having to hang out right on that line. Oh, the timeout from Chromie saves for now. Dax is being hunted down by Stampy, and there goes Sylvanas. Sestron manages to escape. Jakebot is actually blocking Jaeger inside the kill zone, but popping the Gladiator's Medallion and getting on out of there. Somehow Jakebot survives with about 100 health left there. Sestron gonna have to be careful as those empowered Qs from Tassadar are really starting to land hard. Checking in on the top lane. Malthael with the superior wave clear is just keeping Yotaro sort of trapped in that top lane. And right now, Illidancing Queen's still looking for an answer as we have a single altar phase here in the bottom lane. Looks like they're just going to try to focus down this fort. They don't have the minion wave yet. Mr. G is doing a great job of keeping that red minion wave cleared away so that Illidancing Queens just can't really step up. Jakebot now being collapsed on. The Slowing Sands is out. Going to stop the progress of Courtney and Zixg. Nobody's on the altar phase right now. This fort is very, very low. Oh, there's the last rites onto Jakebot. Is going to be just enough to take out the big red machine. Sonya being warded away by Diva on the point, and I don't think that Illidancing Queens can get this fort in time. We're going to have full 5 shots for FF and the Pancakes. There we go. Finally, Sestron lands the W, but the bomb is out. I think timeout's there for long enough. It is, but may not be there for long enough to escape. The Gladiator's Medallion with the Wailing Arrow peel is enough to save Sestron. They get the bottom fort, they save the Chromie, and maybe now is the time where they can find their footing. They're about a level behind here. If we take a look, it's mostly the hero kills where Illidancing Queens is behind for the moment. So one good late game team fight, and they're right back in this. Courtney moving ahead. This could be trouble. Jakebot looking for a possible... Oh, there's the leap from Yotaro, getting the unexpected stun. But the Gladiator's Medallion is fantastic, and Courtney is going to walk on out of there. Meanwhile, bottom Sapper Camp taken by FF and the Pancakes. Level 16 has arrived as well, so Illidancing Queen's going to try to head down and clear as safely as possible. Diva coming on down. We're going to have a 4v4 down here in a moment. Maev, once again, threatening to move in with that Shade.
Heroes, I have opened a tunnel near
See if they can get the clear. The Slowing Sands is out. Only one Sapper left. It looks like it's going to be cleared away by that Unstable Poison. And it is going to be a triple altar phase. This is pretty important here for Illidancing Queens. They're going to find level 16, and we're going to see what their choice is on the map here. Yotaro once again being pushed in by Courtney. Oh, actually moves out. Here comes Stampy. This could be trouble for Yotaro. The last rites is good, and Maev gets the final blow. FF and the Pancakes convert the top kill, and that's going to give them control over both of these top altars. Illidancing Queens is going to have to settle for the one and some siege damage in the bottom lane. Mr. G working on the right side. Everyone hanging out just in case anyone comes on through, but the FF and the Pancakes will get the top two altars and move ahead to 25-8 on these core shots. Here comes the rotation from FF and the Pancakes. It looks like Illidancing Queens will manage to squeak on out of there. Yotaro, 5 seconds from respawning, so Illidancing Queens, oh, they're going to move on to this fort, but Courtney's going to see it. Shows before the rest of the team is here. Jaeger is on the chase, and it looks like FF and the Pancakes will just move right onto this camp and say, thank you very much for starting that up. We'll take that, though. And these Sappers are going to move down to the bottom lane where FF and the Pancakes are looking at this bottom fort. Yotaro's looking for a flank here. Jaeger pops the boosters, and Sonya is in. Malthael coming on down to try to help out here. Once again, Jaeger is demeched. The Warden's Cage is out. There's the Apocalypse. Born to Shine trying to get away from Courtney in the backline. Gets pulled back in by the Warden's Cage, and the last rites executes Stukov. Stampy putting some big damage onto Yotaro. Jakebot trying to avoid the root. Oh, gets hit by Deckard. Mr. G gets the final blow. It was actually Stampy resetting the souls onto Diablo once again. FF and the Pancakes just looking fantastic throughout this game. Courtney on the chase, puts the Reaper's Mark onto Sestrin. Right now it looks like FF and the Pancakes can really just do whatever they want here. They're going to take this bottom fort. We have a solo altar in the bottom lane. Stampy gets the Umbral Bind onto 2. Dax and Jakebot trying to get away here. There's the Haunting Wave, manages to get away from the Deckard route, popping the medallion for good measure. But we're going to have shots going on to the red core once again. Yotaro trying to get some action in this top lane, has already weakened up this wall. But Jaeger is going to be picking up these bottom shots while the rest of Illidancing Queens tries to turn this fort back in their favor. It's going to be 6 shots onto the core of the red team. Here comes FF and the Pancakes again. Jakebot trying to reposition with that Shadow Charge, but Courtney has locked on. Umbral Bind onto 2 once again. Last Rites putting big damage onto Jakebot, trying to ward them away from the rest of the squad. Sestrin is now being chased down by Stampy, though, and I think Chromie is about to be timed out. 2 more kills for FF and the Pancakes. Now they've got 3 shots left on Illidancing Queen's core. That does open up Boss as a potential win condition. Stampy having a warp on out of there as that fort was doing some big damage. They're going to get bottom fort, they're going to get level 20, and let's see what they want to do. They'd have about 30 seconds before Illidancing Queens is back at full strength. I think they might be thinking about Boss. Yep, here comes Stampy, here comes Jaeger, and they're going to go ahead and fire this up and look for the win. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Illidancing Queens sees that this is the play. They're heading on up here, but I don't think they're going to get here in time. Yotaro has the leap available, is going to have to use that to get onto the point. Gets onto the point. Here comes Born to Shine and Dax. There's the flailing swipe, but the Lornado counter is good, and FF and the Pancakes stand on the point, and they will pick up game number 1. GG. Hello and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. Game number 2 about to be underway here between FF and the Pancakes and Illidancing Queens. Just as a reminder, this is a replay cast, so we don't have a draft for you, unfortunately. We're going to jump straight into game number 2. Let's head over to the maps to remind you of the state of this series. Volskaya Foundry, Battlefield of Eternity, Braxis Holdout, and Dragonshire were banned away for today's matchup. Towers of Doom was chosen and won by FF and the Pancakes in convincing fashion there in game number 1. And now it is going to be Illidancing Queens that are taking us to Infernal Shrines for game number 2. Alrighty, without further delay, let's jump right into it. FF and the Pancakes versus Illidancing Queens, game number 2. Here we go. Alrighty, game number 2 is underway. Once again, on the left in the blue is FF and the Pancakes, with Jaeger playing the Johanna, Courtney is on Orphea, Stampy is playing Zool, Mr. G on the Phoenix, and Zixchi on the White Mane. On the right in the red, we have Illidancing Queens with Jakebot playing the Mei, Dax is on Raynor, Yotaru is playing Leoric, Born to Shine is on the Anduin, and Sestrin once again on the Chromie.
2, 1. We cannot tarry.
Here we go. Game number 2 is underway. Checking back in on those level 1 quests. It is the advanced targeting for Phoenix. Gonna be loading up those Q stacks. Again, deep breathing for Chromie, trying to land those Dragon's Breaths. So the team's just checking out, just maintaining vision here in the lane as the lanes are now set to clash. Long range wave clear coming in for Illidancing Queens. There's the double stop onto Stampy. But Zixchi is there with the heals, and the rotations will begin. It's going to be Phoenix in the solo versus Leoric. Not a matchup we get to see an awful lot, but Phoenix was a pretty dominant solo laner when they first came out. The bone armor actually popped by Stampy here. Zixchi connecting that. Gosh, I can't remember the ability. It's the thing what heals people on the 1 key, you know? That White Mane ability. Rotation's looking pretty slick for both of our teams right now. We'll see whether they want to move on to these camps here or whether they want to keep up with this wave clear rotation. Stampy on the Zool is absolutely going to be tilting these rotations into the favor of FF and the Pancakes. Looks like Illidancing Queens is going to commit to start up this camp. Dax did pick up the Exterminator on level 1, so Raynor's going to be definitely helping out that camp clear. You see the Khazra camp on the right has already been picked up. We'll see if Illidancing Queens can move on to this point since they managed to finish up that so fast. Stampy pushed back by Jakebot, and that is going to be first blood. Zool taken out. Illidancing Queens find the time stop onto Johanna, but the Unstoppable is good, and Jaeger will manage to get away. That's a double camp capture for Illidancing Queens, and it looks like they're going for the invade. They've got the level 4, they've got the map control, and they're going for a triple camp play very early into this game. Very nicely done. And a good example of why Exterminator on Raynor can get you those little advantages. Courtney trying to clear away that bottom wave. Checking in on the top lane, it looks like Yotaru and Mr. G mostly just exchanging pleasantries, not dealing a whole lot of damage to each other. Dax managing to push back White Mane and Johanna there. Stampy kind of getting trapped by Sestrin, trying to clear away these Khazra. Meanwhile, Courtney down in the bottom lane has become a pseudo-solo laner, as the rest of FF and the Pancakes are just working that mid lane. Clemency has been called in chat by Yotaru as the name of that White Mane ability. I'm going to go with that. That sounds about right. Illidancing Queen's going to go ahead and queue up this Shaman camp as we are looking at an Arcane Shrine in the top lane. FF and the Pancakes going to go ahead and start up this Shaman camp as well. Good macro timing from our two squads. This would be the time where you try to gank the solo laner, but it looks like Mr. G and Yotaru are pretty well safe. Phoenix with that fantastic new skin that came in a couple events ago. Right now, Sezdrin trying to look for level 7 for Illidancing Queens. As we see, the first objective has now spawned, and the minions are starting to be killed. There's the stop onto Sezdrin, but the leap of faith from Anduin is good. Stampy in some trouble here, has to pop the bone armor once again. Sezdrin lands one Q, but Stampy's going to be alright. Courtney managing to get away with those Qs onto Dax. And with that Exterminator, Dax is going to be making short work of this Shaman camp. As we see Yotaru just working away slowly on Leoric, cleaving down those minions. Jakebot could be in some trouble here, has to pop that May trait. Looks like we'll manage to walk away. Yotaru using that Wraith Walk to get away as well. They've got a 19-8 advantage now, but FF and the Pancakes have now controlled the point, and they're going to start catching up on these minion kills pretty quickly. There's the triple blind. Oh, Jaeger in the back is taking some big damage from Sezdrin. Jakebot all of a sudden caught as well. Stampy moving ahead with that backlash bone armor. Zul gonna have to start backing off though. There's the time stop onto Mr. G. Chromie, oh, very nicely vectored Dragon's Breath there, and that it will be Illidancing Queens with the level 7 and with the first Arcane Punisher of the game. Now this is where Zul Leo is going to be a pretty interesting matchup in the solo. Zul does clear a little faster than Leoric, but Leoric is no slouch, especially with that Meal Peasants on level 4. It looks like Illidancing Queens will have to settle for just the wall here as the Punisher has been baited and now nearly killed. Deep breathing onto the fort. Looks like Jakebot's trying to get a little bit of damage onto this well, but Illidancing Queens is going to have to start backing off. Leo and Zul locked in the endless wave clear battle. And now the camps are up again. We'll see whether Illidancing Queens can once again get ahead on those Merc camps. It looks like they're maintaining pressure in the top lane. It's a 4v3 right now. They want to try to get this top fort. Right now it's Zul in the bottom lane actually going for the solo camp steal. Yotaru sniffs it out, so Zul's going to have to back off. Right now, the wave clear of Phoenix and Johanna is enough to keep Illidancing Queens off this fort for now. Dax gonna have to be careful with that negative armor. Mr. G on the chase with that plasma cutter. Top fort, a little bit low here. Still trying to siege in this top lane. We're gonna take just a tiny little pause. Sorry, folks. We're gonna go ahead and ban that. Had a bot to get rid of, sorry about that. Let's make sure my mouse is on the right setting. Here we go. Once again, Illidancing Queens keeping this pressure on the top lane, letting the double stoke of Zul and Leoric just continue into this next objective. There's Phoenix getting stopped. Mr. G's armor, or shield's getting completely wailed away. As we now approach level 10 for our two squads. It's hard to tell who's actually getting ahead with this setup. It looks like the minions are very, very even for both sides right now. Level 10s have arrived here for Illidancing Queens, but level 10s will soon be here for FF and the Pancakes. It is the Light Bomb from Anduin. It is Hyperion from Raynor, and Tomb, Slowing Sands, and May still thinking about it. Level 10s have arrived here for FF and the Pancakes. We're looking at the Divine Reckoning for Whitemane, the Eternal Feast for Orphea, the Planet Cracker from Phoenix, Blessed Shield, and Poison Nova for Johanna and Zul. Jaeger was moving across the map looking for a possible steal. Looks like both teams on top of their Khosra camp right away. And FF and the Pancakes are going to focus on this bottom neutral siege camp. Seeing that, Illidancing Queens are going to surge across the map here and steal this Shaman camp away. May still sitting on that pick. Mr. G is actually going to walk into a nightmare here. Getting the time stop from Chromie, has to use the teleport to get on out of there. And the Illidancing Queens are going to steal this Shaman camp. Very nicely played and good map sense coming out from the red team. It is going to be a Frozen Punisher in the mid lane. Yotaro clearing away the free camp taken by FF and the Pancakes. FF and the Pancakes clearing away the Shaman camp that was stolen away by Illidancing Queens. Sorry about that. And Illidancing Queens is actually going to have a solo Shaman camp pushing the top lane. Checking back in on May's Heroic, it was Ice Wall that was chosen, so no Avalanche this game, instead going for the stop and zoning potential. The Divine Reckoning is out from Zixi, zoning away Born to Shine and Dax for now. The Hyperion trying to get some damage onto this point. Very even on the minions so far. Jaeger has to take the long trudge through the slowing sands, is now fully slowed. Johanna in a lot of trouble here. Poison Nova is out, Johanna is down, but there's the counter kill onto May, so that's both tanks taken out. Yotaro manages to Wraith walk away, and Zool's actually taken out by Sezdrin with the long-range Chromie damage. So we're 4v3 on this point, still very even on these minions. Both teams don't have a proper tank, and it looks like Illidancing Queens is going to try to tap and go back in. I don't know if they've got enough time, though. Only 12 minions left for FF and the Pancakes. These now up to 34. They're going to have to really push hard to get FF and the Pancakes off this point. Mr. G throwing in the damage, and it looks like this Frozen Punisher will be going over to the blue team. Meanwhile, in the top lane, the Shaman camp doing a lot of work getting right up onto the wall before Stampy gets onto the wave clear. Right now, FF and the Pancakes are splitting down to the bottom lane. Yotaro could be in a little bit of trouble here. Takes some damage before the Wraith Walk ends. Under 300 health, manages to avoid the Orphea Q. Punisher taken out pretty much for free there, and FF and the Pancakes haven't got a whole lot of siege done, so losing a couple members in that scuffle. Managed to get the Frozen Punisher, but not getting a whole lot done with it. They're going to look for their next advantage here on the map as level 13 has arrived, or is about to arrive for the blue team. Jaeger really wants to kill that cannon tower and will take it out. It looks like FF and the Pancakes will escape to tell the tale. Yotaro making sure the top lane is pushed in. Zool down in the bottom lane doing exactly the same thing here for FF and the Pancakes. Our team's looking for their causer camps once again. FF and the Pancakes actually looking for an invade. There's the slowing sands. This could be big trouble. The ice wall is out, stopping the Zool and stopping the retreat of Johanna. There's the Entomb onto 3. Orphea Feast is out, but it's going to be Zool going down first. There's the timeout. Mr. G putting down a fantastic Planet Cracker. Jakebot on the chase, but cannot get the final hits onto Jaeger. Yotaru and Sezdrin now being pushed away. Courtney looking for the last Q will land, and there goes the Chromie. Jakebot and crew will rotate down here. Johanna back to the base, getting that health redone. The Illidancing Queens are going to go ahead and clean up this bottom camp real quick. We're going to be thinking about Mortar Punisher in the top lane next. We'll see what Illidancing Queens wants to do. They're all down here at the bottom of the map. FF and the Pancakes are rotating through for the defense. Left side Causer camp, it looks like they're going to go for the straight steal. They see Johanna caught in the top lane and take their opportunity to move on in and steal away this camp with that extreme Rainer clear speed. Dax thinking about moving in. Thinks better of it, starts moving backwards. And it looks like the teams are just content to seek level 16 here. Leoric heading back to the top lane, the rest of Illidancing Queens just trying to maintain presence, just trying to lose as much XP into those walls as possible, while FF and the Pancakes is playing sort of passively, waiting for the next opportunity for a team fight here. They want to keep an eye on this camp. They don't want to take it just yet. They want to time it out a little closer to the objective, and now is the time. 25 seconds till the objective. They're going to go ahead and pick that up. Yotaru keeping an eye on the right side camp, and the rest of Illidancing Queens are going to come on through and time that out for this next objective. FF and the Pancakes sort of moving as a unit right now, looking to possibly get some damage down on this bottom fort. Zool keeping the lane busy in the mid. The rest of the squad, they're actually going to go ahead and move on down here. They're going to try to get some counter siege damage done. Illidancing Queens has a choice to make. It looks like they're going to send May and Raynor up to start the objective and clear away that shaman camp, and they're going to try to send 3 down here for the defense, but this bottom fort is already gone. Blessed Shield onto Chromie is good. Oh, the timeout just in time to negate this Planet Cracker. Yotaru puts the Entomb onto Phoenix, but just warps on out of there. Poison Nova getting on to Sestrin, but Chromie's going to be okay for now, putting out the Slowing Sands. There's the Light Bomb from Jakebot. Ooh, Courtney with a great Gladiator's Medallion will avoid the stun. Yotaru trying to cause havoc in the backline. But right now, Dax is on the top objective, just getting the free clear. And FF and the Pancakes are not going to convert this to any kills. They're going to try to possibly push further. No, they're going to head on back. Courtney is slowed, manages to get the juke. Yotaru's on the chase. Oh, Jakebot with a great icing. There's the Eternal Feast from Courtney to try to zone away Orphea. Actually looking like they might get away. Stampy coming on down to try to zone out the members of Illidancing Queens. Yotaru drops the Wraithwalk to avoid the backlash of Zool. There's the Blessed Shield once again, and they do find the kill onto Leoric this time. Meanwhile, all the while, Dax getting a Mortar Punisher pushing down this top lane along with this Shaman camp. So all of a sudden, these kills from FF and the Pancakes aren't looking so hot, as they're going to have to back for this defense. Born to Shine gets the interrupt onto Mr. G. They will not stop the rest of the backs, but they do stop Phoenix. Yotaru with the ghosty slows. There's the icing onto Phoenix. Most of the team is back here, though. They're going to try to clear away this wave, though this Punisher already wailing on the keep. Zixgy going to have to be careful there, taking some big hits from those mortars. And Illidancing Queens has opened up the map. They managed to survive the onslaught in the bottom lane, pick up the objective, and now they're going to be pushing onto the mid fort after clearing up some of these camps. Punisher will go down before the top keep goes down. Looks like Dax is going to be cleaning away this mid fort, making sure to not get ganked by the rotating members of FF and the Pancakes. That's going to be another triple Khazra camp play, as Jakebot just keeping an eye on things in that mid bush. Yotaru could be in some trouble here. Uses the long Wraith Walk to boogie on out of there. The Blessed Shield from Jaeger is good, but the Entomb onto Whitemane is better. Mr. G with the counter Planet Cracker puts some big damage onto Leoric. There's the Ice Wall, stopping the unstoppable Johanna. And that's one kill. The healer is down. We'll see what Illidancing Queens can do with this advantage. It looks like Yotaru in the mid lane is looking for that mid fort. Courtney gonna have to be careful here as Sestrin putting out the deep breathing, looks for the Qs. Oh, it's a pixel away and Courtney's gonna survive. Bottom fort is now being keyed on by the members of Illidancing Queens. Leoric picking up that fort in the mid lane along with the help of that Khazra camp. So that's all the forts gone. We have a 5-3 advantage on the structures, and that's going to help out with the passive experience heading into level 20 here. Taking a look at the hero damage so far, Orphea leading the way for FF and the Pancakes at the 42.5k. Chromie with nearly 43,000 for Illidancing Queens. As we now see a push onto this bottom fort, Hyperion is committed as well. They want to pick up these cannon towers to possibly get a jump towards level 20. The Yamato cannon just wailing away at these structures. They will not get the second cannon tower, so they're going to have to wait another few seconds here for level 20. And Illidancing Queen's actually being chased out by Jaeger. I'm not sure about this from FF. They're looking for a possible engage, but they're about to be down 18-20. Looks like they do manage to successfully push Illidancing Queens away, though. As level 20 is here, Dax is coming to join the crew. Wondering, do we take the camp? Do we move on to the enemy camp? It looks like they're going to go for the invade. They've got their talent advantage, and they're going to use it. Steal away this Shaman camp while they can. Jaeger's going to be walking into trouble here, just nopes right on out of there. And Illidancing Queens is going to steal away this Shaman camp. Shaman camp will be very quickly cleared away. Looks like Yotaru is going to go for the clear here. Oh, Illidancing Queens is actually going to push with it. They want to find this top keep before the next objective. Arcane Punisher going to be showing up in the mid lane. Right now, Stampy is pushing down the bottom lane, will not be here for this defense, so top keep is down. They're going to be heading back to their own shaman camp. They're going to want to start up this shrine right away, and Stampy getting some good push value in the bottom lane, escorting that catapult onto the bottom keep wall. Shrine is activating right now. Here comes FF and the Pancakes through the mid lane. Gonna look for a possible team fight. They want to find level 20. Are they just making a play for bottom keep? Looks like they're going to give up this objective and make a play for the bottom keep here. They're sneaking along. Illidancing Queens is going to grab this for free, but are they going to see this come through? Now, FF and the Pancakes are showing on this bottom keep. Members are starting to back here. Dax is going to stay on the point. Jakebot rotating down. Bottom keep wall is already taken out. Are they going to continue? FF and the Pancakes is going to push onto this keep. But here comes Yotaru. Jakebot on the edge as well is going to catch them on this rotation. Still has the slow. There's the ice wall catching two. The silence and tomb is good. Light bomb stunning two for the members of FF and the Pancakes. Planet Cracker is out. Yotaru manages to get away. Jakebot still managing to stay alive there. Whitemane will go down in response, as well as Leoric, Born to Shine, and Sestrin trying to move on out of there. Jakebot is just surviving like mad. May moving on back. But Dax is just going to push on through. The Shaman Camp is on the core. The Punisher is on the keep. Can Illidancing Queen stop the backs of FF and the Pancakes? It looks like they're not going to go ahead and defend. They're going to keep on pushing here. Jaeger trying to back away here. Mr. G, now they're going to start trying to back off. Jaeger will manage to go ahead and back, but it's going to be too late here. This Punisher, look at all these catapults, look at these minions. FF and the Pancakes were not fast enough, and Illidancing Queens strike back and win game number 2. GG. All right, welcome back. Game number 3 about to commence here. FF and the Pancakes taking game number 1. Illidancing Queens strike back in game number 2. And we're going to go to the rubber match to see how things get sorted out. Once again, over to the map screen to remind you of the state of this series. Volskaya Foundry, Battlefield of Eternity, Braxis Holdout, and Dragonshire are banned away for this series. Towers of Doom was chosen and won by FF and the Pancakes. Infernal Shrines was then chosen and won by Illidancing Queens. And now Illidancing Queens are going to be taking us to Tomb of the Spider Queen for game number 3. Alright, that's it, that's all for the pre-game roll. We're going to get into game number 3, FF and the Pancakes versus Illidancing Queens. Who's going to come out on top and stay undefeated? Let's find out. Alrighty, game number 3, we are loaded in and we are ready to go. On the left in the blue, once again, FF and the Pancakes, with Zixchi on the Anduin, Stampy is playing Zeratul, Jaeger is on the Johanna, Mr. G on the Phoenix, and Courtney is playing Jaina. On the right in the red, Illidancing Queens, Dax on the Rainer, Born to Shine is playing the Deckard, Jakebot on Diablo, Sestrin is playing Orphea, and it is Yotaru on the Zool. Dax with the 2 months of Prime. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate the support. As we get into game number 3, Jaina going to be looking for those globes on 1. Once again, the Plasma Cutter quest coming in for Phoenix, and no other level 1 quests to be seen. As the waves are about to clash, and we'll see how these teams stack up. We've got a whole lot of wave clear with the Jaina Johanna on the one side. We've got a Zool Orphea on the other with the Deckard Kicker. So these minions are not going to be long for this world. It looks like Yotaru will be going up against Mr. G in the bottom lane. And the rotations will commence here. FF and the Pancakes are off to a great start ahead on these rotations for now. Looks like Zool has the better of things so far. Jaeger catches Jakebot in the Condemn, though. Gonna be putting some damage with that Blizzard. Unstoppable, still barely up there for Jaeger. And the rotations continue. Actually looking for a gank onto the bottom lane here is FF and the Pancakes, but Yotaru still mounted up. Oh, Johanna was actually stayed with the rotation and is killed there by Illidancing Queens. That's a pretty important pickup. As we see, FF and the Pancakes are still committing to this bottom camp, but they're going to be missing a lot of XP here unless they can get up onto these minion waves. They do find the siege camp to try to help Mr. G push out Yotaru here, but that's a lot of gems and a lot of minion orbs that are being lost to the wall. Trying to make it up with a little bit of siege damage here. Courtney, Mr. G, and Zixg taking out the bottom cannon, and they're not going to stop there. But here comes Illidancing Queens. Jakebot looking for the rotation. Gets the Shadow Charge onto the Siege Giant. But Zixg is there with the Leap of Faith to get Courtney out of trouble. By the way, Nematode, Yotaro, Mr. Born to Shine 1. Thank you very much for the follows there as we are continuing on with game number 3. So far, a little bit of unorthodox rotations here. FF and the Pancakes choosing to focus on that bottom lane, at least for the opening salvo. Leaving Johanna to double soak. It's certainly not unheard of, but it's a little bit unheard of for Johanna to end up going down. A whole lot of kill pressure coming in there for the Illidancing Queens. It looks like both teams now just going to retreat to their bruiser camps, get those timed out, and get those pushing in the mid lane. Checking in on the XP, it actually looks like FF and the Pancakes are ahead on those minions, at least for the time being. And also ahead on the Mercenaries for picking up the bottom play, so I'm probably a little further ahead than I gave them credit for. I thought they were going to lose more soak to the top and mid lanes, but so far staying in the game absolutely here. Cats are fighting in the background, making a lot of noise as the bruiser camps meet. They only like to fight each other. They don't like to see anyone else fighting, you know. Jakebot coming on through, getting the Shadow Charge onto Stampy, forcing the blink out of Zeratul. Looks like these camps are going to go ahead and just simply be cleared. Yotaru, now the target of the ire of Stampy. Mr. G getting up with that Plasma Cutter, forcing Yotaru to move on back with about half health. Still has a pretty hefty wave here. Illidancing Queen's going to use that to try to get their first turn in. Jakebot finds the flip onto Johanna once again. This time Johanna's ready for it and will manage to get away. But here comes FF and the Pancakes. They're not going to allow this turn in anymore. Stampy with a huge cleave there onto the backline of Illidancing Queens. Jaeger keeping Jakebot slowed. Jaeger could be in some trouble here. Is now getting body blocked into a couple of cannon tower shots. But will manage to wiggle on out of the hair with that giant Johanna health pool. So far, only one kill on the board in the first 4 minutes of the game. Yotaro could be next, though, if they're not careful. Has to try to get away from the Zeratul. Trying to reveal Stampy, will not be able to do so. Once again, Jaeger, the only one left to try to push away the turn-in, but it is going to be a red turn-in before blue can get the turn-in in the bottom lane. We'll see what Illidancing Queens can do with this first objective. The first objective here on Tomb of the Spider Queen is typically pretty weak. And if you can get more than just, you know, a couple walls, a couple cannon towers, it's usually good. But what's more important than this first objective is making sure you get the second one. You don't want to be giving away that turn-in for free right after you get yours, because it kind of negates everything you just did with your first 50 gems. So we'll see what they can do here. As we have Yotaru pushing in versus Mr. G in the bottom lane, the rest of Illidancing Queens trying to get some work done here in the mid, and Zeratul just working on clearing away that top objective. Looks like this objective is nearly done here. Illidancing Queens just working on the wall real quick. They're going to move on down to the bottom lane. Mr. G safely behind the wall for now. And this objective is still up and kicking. Yotaru has been doing a good job of keeping these minions cleared. Jakebot maintaining presence. He's going to come on down for the defense. Gets pulled in by the Condemn of Jaeger. And looks like they're going to get the mid wall, they're going to get the bottom wall, and that's going to be about it. Dax keeping an eye on the top turn-in, forcing Stampy to back on off, and this is really the big turning point. If Illidancing Queens can get the next turn-in and prevent the turn-in of FF and the Pancakes, then they'll be in a great spot. So we are now approaching level 10 here. Only 10 more gems needed for Illidancing Queens. A few more minion waves should do it. Jakebot trying to keep an eye on this bottom turn-in. Sestrin and Dax keeping an eye on the top, so doing a very good job here, but level 10s are about to come through and we may see our first big team fight. As once again... Oh, can't quite get it. Dax has to come in with that penetrating round to try to ward away the members of FF and the Pancakes. We are going to see the Hyperion, Stay a While and Listen, Apocalypse, Eternal Feast, and Zool still thinking about it. Jaeger and Stampy in the top lane. Sestrin going to have to try to get the interrupt here. Will not get the interrupt onto Zeratul, and that's going to be a blue Webweaver wave coming on down. So Zeratul, with the 39 gems, manages to lose the majority of them, and we're going to have blue Webweavers coming on through. FF and the Pancakes heroics, we're looking at the Blessed Shield, the Light Bomb, Void Prison, the Ring of Frost from Jaina, and the Planet Cracker once again from Phoenix. Azul still considering the heroic. Oh, there's a Void Prison onto 3. The follow-up with the Ring of Frost is good, but a lot of cleanses are out. Dax trying to wiggle away from the Planet Cracker is going to survive for now and send out the Hyperion. Jakebot is being warded away by Jaeger. Somehow, Illidancing Queens is all alive. Yotaru putting out that Poison Nova that was finally chosen there by Zool. And that was pretty much all the heroics flying there except for Stay a While and Listen, and everyone's still alive. Stampy pushed back once again by the penetrating round. Jaeger is now being chased out, has to pop that Iron Skin to get away. Looks like Illidancing Queens is going to get a pretty clean clear here. They lost... Oh no, mid-wall is still doing fine. Yotaru is going to clear away that bottom wave. Gonna have to tap just in case Stampy decided to go back in. So far, still very even on the structures for our two teams. They're now 1-1 on the turn-in, so the counter is reset. The lanes are pretty even. So we'll see which of our teams can get control of these turn-in points next. Jakebot using that Shadow Charge to get away from the gank in the top lane. Right side Bruiser Camp has been picked up. We'll see what Illidancing Queens can do. Usually getting this Bruiser Camp early means that you get control over the... the turn-in points, since you get control of that mid-lane vision. We're going to see FF and the Pancakes doing the same thing, grabbing that Bruiser Camp on the left-hand side. Right now it is Dax and Jakebot. Looks like Jakebot will have enough gems to convert a red Webweaver turn-in. And here they come. The red Webweavers are going to be barreling down the lanes. Looking for level 13 here is Illidancing Queens. They're a bit ahead on the minions, only slightly though, and a little bit ahead on the heroes. Very, very even so far. Jakebot and Dax could be in trouble here. There's the Void Prison onto 2. Can the rest of Illidancing Queens catch up? Oh, the combo is good. The Planet Cracker, the Ring of Frost. There goes Raynor. There goes Diablo, Sestrin, and Born to Shine. Gonna have to hightail it on out of there. And a great set of ults coming on out from FF and the Pancakes. Convert 2 kills, and they're gonna get the clear on this objective. Mr. G joining the combo from the bottom lane with that Planet Cracker. Jakebot already back on the field, but has those souls reset. He's going to have to look for more minion kills to get that back in play. Stampy, still with 23 gems. Zeratul, a little low on health, but a little high on escape, so not a bad target to be picking up all those gems for the blue team. See what Illidancing Queens can do. They're looking like they've had a decent time here with these rotations. But they're not getting the same explosive power that we're seeing here from FF and the Pancakes. Zutaru manages to get away from the gank here. Illidancing Queens looking for a big rotation. Right now the ball is in the court of FF and the Pancakes. They've got the gems that they need. Once again, looking to control that neutral siege camp. Yotaru's going to see it. Jakebot's coming on down, and they want to fight over this. There's the stun onto Mr. G. Yotaro has to get off the point. The big sleep coming in from Born to Shine. It is going to be Phoenix going down first. Zixji being chased out by Sestra, and there goes Zool, though, and Zeratul killed as well, so it's a 2-for-1 for now. Sestrin still on the front lines, making things difficult for FF and the Pancakes. And that's a lot of gems on the ground that FF and the Pancakes just lost there. They still, they don't have quite enough for their next turn-in now. Before they had well enough, and now they're going to need to farm a little bit more. As we see Illidancing Queens finally gets the opening that they need. They're going to push down this mid fort and start to create this map advantage that you really need here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Jakebot dropping off while they can, but Illidancing Queens, I think they lost a couple of their gems as well, because they're still well away from their next turn-in. Yotaro keeping an eye on the bottom lane. Jaina now the proud holder of the majority of the gems here, but will manage to drop those off before Jakebot can come on through. So that's a pretty important pickup there for FF and the Pancakes. The stun is good onto Zixji. Oh, the Apocalypse is countered by the Void Prison. We're going to have a Light Bomb come out as well. Planet Cracker splits the members of Illidancing Queens. Born to Shine gets the sleep onto Zixji. The warding Ring of Frost from Courtney pushes back Jakebot for now, but the Shadow Charge coming on through will execute Zeratul. And Illidancing Queens finds the kill and stops the turn-in. Still 22 gems off of their own turn-in. They're going to go ahead and push this bottom lane. Courtney and Mr. G trying to clear away these minions, but it will not be enough. It looks like Illidancing Queens are going to grab this bottom fort. Those exterminator shots from Dax on the Rainer, just very difficult to stop in terms of siege. Yotaru's going to force back Jaeger for now. Zool keeping a weather eye on all those lanes. And this is trouble here for FF and the Pancakes. They're starting to lose lane pressure, and that means losing access to these turn-in points. All they need is another 4 turned in, but without lane pressure, they don't really have free access here. Jaeger could be in trouble as Born to Shine and Sestrin are starting to move up. Jakebot keeping an eye on that bottom turn-in here as Yotaru is trying to clear away this Bruiser camp to further push out the mid lane. FF and the Pancakes did manage to pick up the Bruiser camp of their own. They're trying to push through the bottom lane, try to create double lane pressure so they can access this turn-in point. Dax managing to walk away there from the advancing members of FF and the Pancakes. Sestrin now possibly next. Here comes, they're moving up to the top lane. It looks like FF and the Pancakes are just focusing on getting these lanes back to even and not committing to a lane just yet. As we see mid is already cleared out by the red team. Jakebot unsure where FF and the Pancakes are. It looks like they're actually baiting the boss here. Will Illidancing Queens fall for it? Born to Shine is moving into the lane. Will spot Stampy in the bush, and it's going to have to start walking on out of there, and that's going to force FF and the Pancakes to abandon their boss attempt. Sestrin turning in what they have, and that's going to be enough. Red Webweavers coming down the lanes. Zool actually getting a ton of work done down here in the bottom lane, but may go down for it. Jaeger has the rotation. Gets the condemned, stun is there, the root is out, and Zool in a whole lot of trouble is going to go down here. Trying to save with the Apocalypse was Jakebot from the top lane, but Zool will be taken out. Meanwhile though, Illidancing Queens, they're already onto this top keep wall. Mr. G clearing out the bottom lane, the rest of FF and the Pancakes going to rotate to the top lane to try to save this keep wall as much as they can. Illidancing Queen's just going to rotate to the mid lane, though, and try to get some work done on this keep wall. Taking it out pretty easily there with a big fat minion wave coming on through, taking all of those cannon shots. Jaeger trying to come in from the flank. Ooh, Illidancing Queens manages to scoot on by, and they're going to move back and let this objective get cleared away. Bottom lane all the way pushed in, mid lane pushed in, tops pushed in. Boss still available. Looks like Illidancing Queens, they're thinking about this bottom siege camp for now. They can take this pretty safely as there's really no route to enter. FF and the Pancakes showing in the top lane. They wanted to possibly move into this boss pit, but it was the bottom siege camp that was the play. Illidancing Queens just kind of staying off the map here. Jaeger is going to notice Born to Shine, trying to turn in. Will not be allowed to do so. Still only 4 gems needed to turn in here for FF and the Pancakes. Dax is keeping an eye on things. Gonna have to be careful here, though, using the penetrating round to get on out. And Zixgy will manage to turn in and get some blue web weavers. They're not going to be moving far down the lanes, but just getting that triple lane pressure as we approach level 20 could be important as we lead into the next team fight. Top lane will be the focus here for FF and the Pancakes. Trying to get that boss lane evened up. Right now, Mr. G in the bottom lane. Looks like Yotaru is going to challenge that. Illidancing Queens clearing out mid first. They're going to have to walk in the long way for the defense, unless they're just going to go for a full flank. Here it is. Stampy is invisible. They don't know where Zeratul is. Goes into the back line. Oh, the Void Prison onto 3. There is the combo once again. Jaina putting out huge damage onto Born to Shine. Deckard is going to be going down. Jakebot being chased out. Diablo goes down. Stampy manages to get away from the Eternal Feast. And that's Jakebot's souls reset once again. A double kill coming in for FF and the Pancakes. With this minion wave and this fort, they're going to be finding level 20 shortly. And it's going to be 20 versus 20, but they've got the advantage. It looks like they're going to move to the boss. Boss is generally the win condition here on Tomb of the Spider Queen, unless you can really stack up those turn-ins. Right now, Illidancing Queens, Dax actually moving across the map here. Looking at the enemy bruiser camp, they figure that FF and the Pancakes have to be on this boss, and of course they are. We see the boss has been captured. The left side bruiser camp is going to be stolen away. They're going to have to be careful to not get caught on these rotations, though. We're going to have the boss marching down the lane. It's going to be a blue web weaver turn-in as well, trying to stack up these web weavers along with the boss. The boss a little bit ahead, though. Illidancing Queens. Looks like Dax is in position. They're going to start burning away this boss with that exterminator. So boss will keep this lane pushed in. Here comes FF and the Pancakes. They're going to try to push alongside this boss. The web weaver is not here yet. They get the root onto Jakebot, but Diablo just moving on in. Very low on souls here is Diablo, so definitely a kill target. FF and the Pancakes now have the web weaver here. But once again, that's going to be pretty quickly cleared away by Raynor and that exterminator, as well as those Orphea bombs. Stampy gets the Void Prison onto 2. Hyperion is committed. They drop it. They only find 1 with the combo this time. It's the counter Apocalypse. Somehow, Diablo's still alive. Jaeger in a lot of trouble. The Indestructible is popped. Sestrin on the chase. Jakebot, how are you still alive? There's the sleep onto 2. Johanna's going to go down in the background. Zool just causing havoc back there. The flip is good onto Jaina. And that's a double kill for Illidancing Queens. Mr. G was off in the off lane once again, ready with the Planet Cracker, but they just didn't quite get the same amount of efficacy with that Void Prison Ring combo, only catching 1. The cleanse was good onto their second target. And that's going to give Illidancing Queens a chance to clear away these blue web weavers. And they only need 10 more to get their own red wave pushing on through. We'll see what they can do here. It's 30 seconds till Jane is back on the field. What will Illidancing Queens do? They've got a mid keep pretty well softened up. Top and bottom still have their walls. They're going to pick up this bruiser camp. Mr. G dropping off those gems just for security's sake. Stampy pushing through the top lane. Illidancing Queens, they're going to get the push here in the mid, but they're not be able to push forward very much. Yotaru's picking up this bottom camp. And Jane is going to be back on the field, and there's going to be a full 5-player defense here for FF and the Pancakes, as these lanes are going to start pushing on through. I believe this is going to be a turn-in. Yes, it will. Jakebot has enough gems. We're going to have red web weavers pushing pretty far down the mid and bottom lanes. Dax and Sestrin are back here. So Yotaru, Born to Shine, going to have to be careful on this rotation, as all the members of FF and the Pancakes are here. Jaeger not going to pull the trigger just yet, but Zool is ready to come on down from the top lane. Here come the red web weavers, Illidancing Queens. Looks like they're going to rotate through the top lane here. The rest of FF and the Pancakes going to try to clear away this big bottom lane push. That means Illidancing Queens are going to be free to push onto this top keep wall. Wall already taken out by the Yamato cannons of the Hyperion. And now the defense is coming in for FF and the Pancakes. Jaeger moving in with the Condemned. There's the Void Prison. Only catches one this time. Still, Diablo is caught in the full combo. The counter sleep is out. Zeratul and Jaina have been taken out by the Eternal Feast, though. Jaeger is rooted by Deckard. The Indestructible popped once again, but there is Zixji with the save. Still, that's 2 members down, and I think Illidancing Queen's going to be moving towards the core. Yotaru's trying to get that mid keep down and create some space, and it will go down. This has a full top wave and a full mid wave pushing in. Jaeger's getting chunked out by Dax. The final kill on Johanna is good. It's only Anduin and Phoenix alive, and Illidancing Queens storm on back and take the series. GG. All right, that is our series. Now, I don't have too long here, but the captain of FF and the Pancakes asked that I mention or give my thoughts on that boss play in the top lane. Now, from what I saw there, what you generally want to do when you're in a position to turn in and take the boss is you want to start the boss, have someone make sure it doesn't leash, turn in your web weavers, and then go finish the boss. Because what'll happen is you'll turn in your web weavers, it'll do the big animation, woo, woo, send them down the lanes, and that takes like a whole 20 seconds. It takes forever to do it. And by that time, you cap the boss, and now you've got the objective and the boss walking side by side, and that's your real siege force. What happened was the boss was taken, that already started marching down the lane, then you had to go and turn in as a team, and that gave Dax the opportunity with that Exterminator Rainer and Orphea with that long-range damage on the Orphea to just basically kill the boss for free. And by that point, your push is not done, but the full power of the push is not recognized at that point. So boss is dead. Okay. At that point, you try to push in the top lane with the objective, which you could really go either way. I think that's a fine play to make, but it's important to recognize at that point that Illidancing Queens burned down that boss so quickly. It's not like you were even super late to catch up with the boss. It's just that the single target siege damage of Illidancing Queens was so high that by the time the objective got there, that was just going to be burned down from behind the keep wall as well. In the situation where the top keep wall is still intact, I think, given the series of events there, it would have made more sense to rotate through the mid lane or the bottom lane and try to jump onto those keep walls without Illidancing Queens already being set up. But so the perfect play is to turn in and then take the boss. And subsequently, because you already took the boss first, because top lane already had the wall and Illidancing Queens could siege that objective for free, I think probably rotating to another lane would have had better results, since you would have been able to get up on that wall before the established defense was there. So that's sort of my thoughts on that particular moment.